Sometimes I'll talk to my friends or my parents about how I want to quit my job at this restaurant, and I genuinely feel so lazy when I say that because I have coworkers who are decades older than me. I have coworkers that are working like 6 days a week or 7 days a week, literally, and I'm complaining about 3 days a week, my 5 hour shifts, and I want to quit so I can have my freedom, true unemployment. And yeah, I do. I genuinely don't know how there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, probably around the world in every country, people who work in food service for like just as their career, as their job for long term, especially in restaurants where the nature of it, at least in America, you have to put up a facade of kindness, of appreciation, of gratitude, of bending over for the customer so you can provide a good experience and get tips. Don't get me wrong, when you're working in food service in America, you have such a love-hate relationship with tips because still, when you go to other places, you don't want to spend just extra money to do it. But then when you're actually working, it's kind of nice to get some tips and feel like you're getting extra paid when it's busier that day. But sometimes I wonder if I had like half the paycheck and was not paid in tips, but I had a job that didn't make me question the passing of time, then maybe I would enjoy every day better. Because when I have my days off, I think about, oh, I'm spending this money now and then I'll have to work for it later. It's like a credit card where, yeah, I have the money to pay for it right now, but every dollar I spend is less money I will have to somehow escape this job. And all I spend my money on is food. Like I saw this Instagram reel where it's like the economy is so bad that you feel like you're bad with money when all you did was buy some food. And that's how I feel, genuinely, man. All I spend my money on is food and gas. And I'm like, shit. I just got off work about an hour ago, 5 hour night shift. And oh man, it's like this udon restaurant that I work at, and it's a nice place. People respect the place. It's only open for 3.5 hours every day. And I'm like food running there, and I have this big tub of udon broth that they make every day or whatever. And so when an udon order comes in, I have to pour it into this container, and then I pour the udon in front of the customer in the restaurant. And basically, after I'm done pouring it in front of the customer, when I go back to the kitchen, I pour the rest of it back into the big tub to reuse it later so it doesn't get cold in the container. And so that happened tonight, and I was pouring it back into the container, and then the udon broth lid was hard to get back on, and it was just super hot because the udon broth is so hot. So I got the towel that I used to like wipe all of the counters and make the side dishes with, like a dirty towel that's in the sanitizer bucket. This is kind of bad. And so I was using it as a layer to not burn my hands on the lid, to put the lid back on. And the lid kind of flipped over itself, and I dropped the towel in this big tub of udon broth. And this is like the only source of udon broth this restaurant has. And I don't know how the owner didn't see it. He was right there. I guess maybe because it was just so unexpected, but I was like, oh shit. Like this is like a fucking contaminated towel with sanitizer water and and like dirty counter germs on it. And I just put it in this big tub of udon broth that no way is food safe anymore, really, in terms of like, if the health department came over, they would not fuck with it. But I was like, there's no way I'm telling the cook owner, because I don't know what would happen. But so I got this long udon spoon, and I dug out the towel and I put it back in the sanitizer water, and man, I just acted like nothing fucking happened. And then like right after that, an order for 3 udon bowls came in, and I was like, oh man. Like I was like picturing in my mind that I'm gonna pour this udon, and then these people are gonna try it and be like, this tastes funny, it tastes like fucking soap. And then the owners are gonna come and ask me and see the towel that's like fucking drenched in udon broth. It's like a different color now. And I'm gonna get like fired, and because I didn't tell anyone. And not that I wouldn't mind if I got fired, but it would just be so bad on me. And luckily nothing happened. And man, what a story to tell. And like, yeah, I really hope there's no way this story comes back to me telling it on this video, right? Because honestly, it's shit like this that makes the days memorable, at least in hindsight. And I always come back to this Sigmund Freud quote that is, quote, one day, in retrospect, the hardest days will strike you as the most beautiful, end quote. And I understand it. And the whole point of it is that you will literally not see it until it's in retrospect. And it's not that it's really beautiful, I would say, but it's just that you're so proud of yourself and proud of the time that's passed during those times that you're here now where you are, being able to look back on it, being able to look back on it in retrospect. And, when I quit this job and none of it matters anymore at all, has no significance to my life at all, then it'll just be a funny story like it is now, even though I still work there. And it was last week when I'm food running, and sometimes these plates get super heavy, and I was carrying like 2 udon bowls on a tray, plus the container for the udon broth to pour, and then like a big plate of food, another tray. And, I've done it multiple times. It's kind of hard. Sometimes it gets super heavy, but whatever. And so the fucking kitchen, by the way, is a separate building. Like, I literally have to go outside and like walk through this hallway to get to the restaurant to serve the food. And it was pretty busy this one time, and so I was holding these 2 trays in the udon broth container, and I just was going fast, and one of the trays I was holding with the udon bowls hit the door, and I just fully dropped it, shattered the bowls outside, and I just stood there and put my hands on my face. It was like one of those moments that like kind of wakes you up, and you're like, oh, this is like reality, where like sometimes you forget that when you're in food service, you're kind of like playing like a Sims life, or you're playing like a Papa's game, and you forget that this is like allegedly real life and anything can happen. And so it was kind of nice in a way, but I also was like, oh man, like I just want to get past this now. I'm like, fuck. When I started working there and I realized how heavy sometimes and like uncertain I feel when I'm holding these trays and I'm walking outside so far to get to the front of house, I was like, I kind of hope one day I kind of like shatter something, especially because I want this to be my last food service job. I just want to experience everything. I want to experience everything in life, man. And yeah, I plan to quit in 3 weeks, right before my 21st birthday. And I have my birthday, and I just have complete freedom. And I have maybe another job, not in food service, or I don't know, I just make money. But one last thing I want to do in food service is call out. I genuinely don't think I've ever called out from a shift at one of the 3 food service places I have worked at. My first job was at this restaurant when I was 15 or 16. It's like when I was 17 and a half or something. And I don't think I've ever called out. Definitely not on my second job, and definitely not this job. And I'm like, I feel like if I did that, like if you just say, oh, I can't come in today, like a few hours before the fucking shift, I'd feel horrible. And I'd feel like I'm evil. Even if I like had to do something or something, I don't know. But like there's coworkers who get injured, like their back is injured. There are people taking multiple trips a month. Or people who just call out. Or there's one other coworker who lost her voice for 3 days and just said, yeah, I lost my voice. I can't come in all weekend serving. I'm like, damn. So yeah, I need to do that. In the next 3 weeks, I will do that. For sure. I'm excited. That's so awesome, man. You just like remind yourself you have freedom. You're like, oh, I'm scheduled for this? I don't care. I'm just not going to come in. Sorry, I can't come in today. I'm not feeling well. Fucking Ferris Bueller, And I try to bring my stoicism, my philosophy, into the restaurant when it genuinely is so quiet in the kitchen now. Like, it's just me, the main cook owner, and then sometimes another cook who's just like a hired employee part-time like me. And it is genuinely so quiet. For the past 3 shifts, including today, I haven't spoken literally one word to the cook owner except for food-related things like, oh, this order's for that, this is for that table. Other than that, nothing. Literally nothing. For 5 hours, nothing. And sometimes I get in my own head about him hating me, but he's not talking to like anyone else. I know he's just in his head because he works every day. Cannot imagine that. Oh my goodness. But sometimes when he's just quiet with me or passive aggressive, not passive aggressive, but just fully not communicative at all. If I have a thought that comes to me like, oh, is he mad at me? Or did I do something wrong? I really prioritize losing that thought, because when I'm not at the restaurant working, there's no significance to it, to my life. This is a whole other dimension, really, where it has no relation to my parents, my friends, anything with my own life. This is just its own world where anything that happens, I'm going to get paid the same amount, and it doesn't matter how anyone feels about me or however I think they feel about me. What does matter is enjoying life and enjoying my time. And I'm sad that I don't enjoy my time there, and so I need to quit. I have freedom. So thank you for listening. This reminded me of my very first video that I uploaded, which is where I talked about quitting my last job, and I recorded it within days of quitting that job. And I just felt like, you know what? I'm starting a YouTube channel. Fuck it. And it's been like 3 or 4 months. And, I have like 45 subscribers. Love you all. But I just keep going, trying to enjoy the process. Thank you for listening. Jeremy out.
That woman set us up.
No, I don't think so. Maybe. This place is odd.
I keep seeing those fellas.
Some local militia. Clearly not too happy to have some new competition.